All right, are we live? Let's see. Well, that was smooth. All right, let's see here. Let's make sure that we are live. You see it on your end?
I can see you.
See me? Are we live on Facebook? Looks like we're live. All right, awesome, you guys. Thanks for tuning in today. We are so excited to do another episode of Coach Life Unplugged. If you guys are joining us live, please comment below. Let us know that you guys here. Check in, say hello. I just want to make sure before we get started that we are actually, in fact, live on Facebook because you never know how Facebook works. So if you guys are there, comment below. Let us know that you can see us. I'm going to check just a few things really quick just to make sure. And I am seeing some comments, so it looks like we're good. Awesome. All right. So I hope everybody had an amazing Mother's Day. Coach Life Unplugged again with Scottie Hobbs. Guys, Scottie Hobbs is one of my mentors. I love him and his family. He is a father of 5. He is part of the Millionaires Club. He's a top elite coach, and he is just rocking his business. And I'm so excited to kind of pick his brain today. And so if you guys have questions as we go along, please put them in the comments because we'll go back through and we'll answer everything for you guys. Yeah, is it working?
Yeah, I got it up. I can see him.
You can. Okay, perfect. All right. And I think you can share it to your page if it's not going live over there too. So yeah, you guys, if you're on here, give us some thumbs up. Let us know that you're on because we're working with Facebook and Zoom at the same time. So we just want to make sure you guys can hear us. All right, Scottie, I'm so pumped. Thank you so much again for hopping on with me. I kind of just want to, start from the beginning of your Beachbody career so that we can kind of share how it just kind of, how you started and take it from there.
Yeah, so the beginning of my Beachbody journey actually began on May 10th of 2010. So about 8 years ago, 8 years and 4 days ago, I started my first day ever of P90X. And to be honest, I had no idea. Because we're talking about the coach life, I had no idea what it meant to be a coach or what I just knew or was told by a friend that if I did P90X, I could, it would be a great way for me to do a workout from home and get the results that I was looking for. And it happened simply. I live in the back of a cul-de-sac, and I had a new neighbor come over, and he was just this ripped, jacked dude. He was like 6'4".
Of course.
Yeah, 240 pounds, and I was 5'11" and 189 pounds, really fluffy with no muscle mass whatsoever. And so we were just chatting, making a new friendship and new neighbor. And I was like, dude, how are you so jacked? Like, how do you get ripped? And it turns out he was a former football player, and he was a strength coach for the high school football team. So he does what every coach should do, what a coach should do. And even though he wasn't a Beachbody coach, he said, I can help you. Let me help you get fit. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. He's like, you know what? You can come strength train with the high school kids in the morning with me tomorrow. And I was like, all right. And he's like, 6 o'clock. And I was like, I have to be to work at 5. So because at that time I was working from 5 to 5. And I was like, do you know what I could do? Anything I could do at home just to start getting healthy? And he's like, you should do that P90X workout. So that was it. May 10th, I was committed, did P90X, and I committed to 90 days. It's a 90-day program. And in 90 days, I went from 189, 187, 189, you know how your weight fluctuates, to 145. So I lost like 38-ish pounds. And I had visible abs for the first time since I was like 14. I was 29 and I had more energy. I was like energetic, and I was just like, this is freaking awesome. Everybody needs to do P90X. You feel like a superhero.
Absolutely.
And that's how I started. And I fell in love with it. That was
one of my first loves too. So I can relate. That's why I'm nodding my head, because it started with P90X. It's watching it also. So I'm loving this story. Do you have your photos with you perhaps?
Yeah, I have my P90X photos. I do want to take note, the P90X photo right here is after an entire year. So it's not 90 days. It's doing P90X 90 days, doing it 90 days again, doing it 90 days again for 1 year. Let me share my screen and show you guys what happened in 1 year's time. Okay. Oh, there's where I have to put my password I was telling you about. There we go.
Surprise.
All right. Can you guys see it?
Yes, there we go. Look at that, you guys. You guys give them a thumbs up in the comments below. That was from, so you're saying a year
A year.
overall, P90X.
Yep.
And
All
I
from,
see you said you were fluff before. You're so,
I
you're
was a
so
little
funny.
fluffy.
And
Yeah.
there you are, ripped.
Yeah. So as I look at that, it's a year's worth of work. But the thing that I want you guys to know is I have 5 kids now, but at the time of this transformation, I had 2 little girls, ages 1 and 3. And I was going to work every day at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting home at 5 at night. And I would either do it sometimes at like 3:45. When that got too hard, I would then do it a little bit later when I got home from work around 5. I would get it done right away, and then I would feed the kids right after. And they would be crawling all over me. It wasn't a perfect workout. There'd be kids, I'd be dodging them with dodging their heads with the
Sounds
weight.
familiar, right?
Yeah, but it's a year, and what I loved is it was from home. I couldn't afford to take my kids to the babysitter or have someone watch them at that time. So I needed something I could do at home with them there. So that was a year transformation of just staying committed and having friends do it with me. I had an accountability partner. We worked together as managers, and we did that program together.
So you guys kept each other accountable. I love the fact that, I do a lot of interviews with moms on here. And that's why I was excited to get you on, because I love the fact, you've got 5 kids of your own and you're still rocking it over there doing dad life and making it work.
Yeah, with 5 kids
no
now.
excuses, gentlemen, if you guys are on here.
and like, I just love it. Some days, not every day, you guys know the reality of having kids, but my daughter will wake up with me maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week and do a workout with me at 6 o'clock. And she did some 80-day obsession with me. But I just love like helping people with these programs. Like, I don't know if you guys know who like the LDS or Mormon missionaries are, but on Monday they have a free day. And I had the 2 missionaries over doing P90X chest and back with me this morning.
That's so wonderful. I love hearing that.
Yeah, it's just so fun to like do workouts with people, introduce people to new types of workouts, and just have fun with it. So that's what a coach does, and that's what I get.
The ripple effect, right? It's us focusing on starting with ourselves, transformation, spiritual, everything, and then it's the ripple effect. You get healthy, and everybody kind of wants to do it with you. And if they don't, then you know who you don't want to be surrounded with, right? Yeah. So the coaching opportunity. So you started P90X. You went, a few rounds of that. When did you say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do this coaching thing?
Yeah. So here's kind of an interesting thing. Like, within like a month of me doing P90X and seeing a transformation start to happen, people were already asking me, and I was already telling them, do P90X. Scottie, what are you doing? Do P90. I'm doing P90X. You should do it. And so I started helping people like that without being a coach. So I'm coaching people, but not officially, right? I'm not, my coach was trying to recruit me into this coaching thing that we're doing. And I would say, no, not for me. I'm going to help people no matter what. And she's like, Scottie, you're doing what I do. You're just not getting paid for it. Right. And I did that for I did P90X 4 rounds. I helped people, probably 30 people over the course of a year, start Insanity or P90X as I was going through it. And my coach would talk to me about coaching. You should be a coach. And every time I'll tell her, I don't have enough time. I'm working 5 to 5. I get home, I do my P90X, I feed my kids, read stories, brush their teeth, bathe them, get them to bed. Yeah. And then I get back up at 5. And my wife's at work at night because she would drop the kids off at 3 o'clock at the neighbors. And then I would pick them up at 5, and then she would be at work till 11:30, and I would be asleep. Oh,
wow. That's a cycle right there for sure.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just don't have time. That was the excuse that I was giving her.
Yes.
I don't have time. And also my coach kind of looked like a supermodel, and I don't look like a supermodel. So I'm like, I don't know if I can help people, like attract people to want me to help them like she can. I don't have enough time. I also struggle with a lot of self-doubt and not feeling good enough throughout my entire life. Like, I'm an ex-cocaine. And
yes, we were talking about that. Right. I wanted to, I remembered one of the national wake-up calls you did. I think it was overcoming fear or fear. I wanted to chat a bit about that too, because I'm sure that had a lot. I mean, because that call was about a couple years in though, your career.
Yeah. Yeah, actually that call was, that national wake up call was 2 years ago.
Okay.
It's when I tell the story about encountering a grizzly bear
That's right. All right.
so, so like I had a lot of, they were all
that fear.
Yeah, they were all fears and doubts. And what made me overcome that fear and that doubt was, the day I signed up as a coach was the day that I overcame that fear. Like in one moment, sometimes you guys will realize there's sometimes things in your life, there'll be one moment and you change, whether it's your financial status, your relationship with your spouse or with your kid, like something happens.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me was on April 11th of 2011. So it's a year after I started P90X, 8 months of my coach saying, you should be a coach, you'd be great at this, and me telling her no. And it was 18 days after my daughter, Ellie, was born, my third daughter.
Okay.
And my wife is home from work on unpaid maternity leave. So she's not getting paid. She's home from work, and it's like 3 weeks after she's born. So 3 weeks without her pay. And then these bills start coming in the mailbox. And like, I'm that guy that only checks the lock box like every week or 2 weeks. Because
you don't want to check it. Because you didn't want to check it. Yeah.
At that time, and I get them all at once. And it was the doctor bill, the anesthesiologist bill, the hospital bill. It was like an ear doctor bill, all the like insurance statements. Like, we pay this much, you pay this much, and it ended up being like $3,800 that I owed.
Wow.
And like, I'll just be honest with you.
Talk about anxiety filled right there.
I worked 12-hour days. I worked 12-hour days, and I only brought home $910 every 2 weeks after taxes, insurance, 401k, which is $1,820 a month. And my mortgage was $1,545. So I have like $300 for gas, electric, food, and gas to drive to work, and this $3,800 bill. Mm-hmm. And I just remember sitting at work that morning thinking about that. And I felt this overwhelming, like, feeling on my shoulders, like this heavy weight. I felt like my cubicle was spinning around me a million miles an hour. Sure. Like, you've probably been there before. You're like, do I go back to school? Do I get a second job? Should I be working here? Does my wife get another job? How much is the babysitter going to cost for the third kid? And it was that moment that I was more afraid of knowing how to take care of my family than afraid of failing at becoming a Beachbody coach, or failing at being this Beachbody coach that my coach told me that I could be when I was something that I couldn't be. So that's the day that I overcame those fears. I overcame it in one moment, that moment where I just had a bigger picture of life.
Right. It kind of hits most of us out of nowhere, right? It is really just a moment that happens. I don't know there's so many emotions that can trigger that moment, but thank goodness that moment happens, because it gets us out of a lot of different, scenarios and pushes us to really punch that fear in the face and go after it. So I'm so proud of you. I love hearing your story. Every time I hear you talk, I get chills, because I get it. Life is a struggle. Yeah. And I know I have a lot of viewers on here that can totally relate to what you're talking about. The bills coming in, doctor bills, and maybe being in a 9-to-5 job that they are sick and tired of being at, and just don't know how to kind of venture out and try something new because of that fear, because they're afraid, right? And that's why I like to do these coaching calls and opportunity calls to really get coaching out there and help everybody understand that, you guys, anybody can do this. Yeah. Like, Scottie is special, but we're really nobody special. We just decided to make a change, and we went after it. And like I said, Scottie is part of the Millionaires Club now, and he is a dad of 5 now. And when you first started, you had how many kids?
Just 3 kids. It was
3 kids. Now he's got 5. Okay. And he's still rocking the business. Scottie, so let's touch on network marketing, if you don't mind, for a second. Yeah. Did you know anything about network marketing when you dove in?
I had no idea.
No idea. Okay. Neither did I.
I didn't know what it was.
So how's that working out for you?
Yeah. So I remember I started, and I was on the phone with my coach, and I was like, okay, I need to make $10,000 a year with this, because I know this is a business. I know I can make money doing this.
I remembered seeing your quote.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I need to make $10,000 a year. And my coach said, I can't promise you $10,000 with this business or company, but I promise that your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change.
Yes.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like, okay, give me an idea. How many lives is that? Like, give me the numbers.
How many is it?
Yeah, I didn't know network marketing still, but I remember she's like, okay, well, every time you help somebody start with P90X or Insanity or Shakeology or the pre-workout, you get a 25% commission. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like, you set a goal, let's help 5 people every month get started. And she's like, oh, here's the cool thing. Like, how often do you get to go on awesome trips? I was like, never. Our honeymoon sucked because we didn't have any money and we got stranded. And she's like, hey, if you help 5 people a month for the rest of this year, you get to go on a free trip to the Bahamas. And I'm like, what? That's freaking awesome. Like, I could do that. I'll work for that.
The motivation, right?
Yeah,
I know the trips were a big incentive for me too.
Yeah, I set that goal. I wanted to earn that trip and I wanted to make $10,000. But I set that goal because that meant my wife made $12,000 as the receptionist, and we spent about $2,000 on a babysitter throughout the year. And so I figured if I could just make that, she wouldn't have to work nights and we could be together at night.
So the 10,000 goal was so that wife could stay home with the kids.
Absolutely.
I love it. And what happened?
I worked my butt off. But I want you guys to understand, because a lot of people think, so we're on the network marketing question. I don't want to get off of that, but I'm like doing the math. I'm like, okay, $10,000, 25% commission. I got to help 300 people, because I was thinking just like a direct commission.
10,000, right?
Each person, if I get a 25% commission off their order of me starting them, I can make, I'm like, okay, I got to find 300 people in a year. That seems impossible, but I'm up for the challenge.
Right.
So I just started helping people. I was like 3 months in, my coach is like, hey, you could be a diamond coach. And I'm like, what the heck is a diamond coach? Like, I don't know what that means. And she's like, yeah, you already have 13 coaches on your team. Like you only need 8 for diamond. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was signing up coaches on my team, not for a huge business to be a millionaire or make 6 figures or have a shiny car, because I felt that every single human on this earth, if they read good books like my coach was recommended to me, if they did the workouts like I was doing, if they had a community like I was feeling inside of that community, that their life would be better. Yeah. So every human that I was talking to was feeling that passion and that life change. And I was inviting them to be a coach on the team. Like, hey, we're going to do this. You tell me you want to lose 50 pounds with P90X. I'm going to help you, because that means it's going to help me bring my wife home from work. So I'm committed to helping you lose that weight.
Right.
And so that's how I started. It was never about a huge opportunity to leave like a job or whatever. But I slowly learned that it was network marketing. I fell in love with the process, because I'm like, the cool thing about it is, like, you can help someone transform their life. I'm just going to share you. This is a high school friend. Like, we get to do this for people.
I know. Isn't that incredible? It really is. Every time I do these and we share the transformation stories, these are real people, and I'm like, I've met most of these people. I mean, I've met Scottie, we work together, and it's just like, this is what we get to do. We help people live better, and we make a beautiful income off of it. And there's nothing more rewarding, right? Yes. And, we were talking about network marketing. I knew nothing about network marketing either. I just knew that I was getting in shape. I was feeling better. I was doing personal development. I was reading now when I never read before. I was in a positive atmosphere. I had all these people around me that believed in something bigger, wanted to go after their dreams. And I just felt this energy. And I was like, I need more of this. And like you said, everybody that that lives basically needs this. They need what we have. They need this positivity, this energy. And just because it happened to be network marketing, made it that much better.
I think we're special because we really focus on transforming someone's life first and foremost. And if you don't understand network marketing, it's like because prior to Beachbody, like, I didn't mention this, but I was trying to figure out how to make my life better for my family, so we didn't have to, like, I started a business of like custom home signs for cabins and for homes.
Wow. Okay.
I was looking at opening a salon because my wife, or my sister, is a hairstylist. I'm like, well, maybe I could start a salon. She could run it. Like, I was trying to come up with a business idea. I was talking to, like, I talked to the leader of my church here. He owns like 17 gas stations and a hotel. He's giving me advice on, you need a loan of about this much to do that. And I'm like, it was like, I needed about a loan of like 150,000 to buy a franchise and get my location.
Right.
Giving me all this advice. I was seeking that advice and trying to figure something out, because the reality is I sat at my job and I said, okay, I've gone from the sweeper of this job to running the service department and the shipping department. I can eventually be the top of this company. I can be the head engineer or head foreman or the vice president. But I really had to just take a step back, look at the perspective and say, look at them and their lives. Okay, I can make an extra $10 or $15 an hour over what I make now.
Right.
But
and then how long do you have to be there for? Right?
Their lives are miserable.
Yes.
They're 45 and they look like they're 65. They're still working 12-hour days. They're still working every Saturday. And I didn't want that. And when I saw what was possible with this company, with network marketing, I realized that, like, even if I did create one of those businesses, at the end of the year, let's say I make 50,000 in a franchise. I'm paying some of that to the debt of starting it. And then at January 1st, I start at $0 again.
Yes, that's a very good point.
And with this, I'll give you guys an idea, direct numbers. I worked my ass off. Like I worked 7 days a week at Beachbody coaching. Like a coach doesn't have to do that, but with my goals of what I wanted to accomplish, I worked 7 days a week, 5 hours a night. Like instead of playing Call of Duty and drinking beer every night, I put the kids to bed and I worked from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock helping people. And at the end of that 1 year, I made $10,800. That's like minimum wage if you do the math.
Right. Yes, absolutely. For helping people too.
Yeah, it was also the goal I wanted. I also helped train, very rewarding. But the thing is I did the same amount of work the next year. And the next year I made $114,000.
Because of double.
Next year I made $420,000, and then it continued to a 7-figure income in 4 years.
So wonderful.
And I was just doing the same thing I was doing in the beginning, but with this, it compounds. As you help someone transform their life, then they go help someone else transform their life, and they help somebody else transform their life. And then what happens a year from now, two years from now, you have to keep working. It's not something you do and then walk away from.
Right.
I go camping like this weekend for Mother's Day. I camped for 3 days. I didn't do one bit of work, but there's 45,000 people on my team that worked for 3 days.
And you're still getting a paycheck. You know?
And I didn't spend time with my kids.
You still get a paycheck, you're making your own hours. And that's why I'm still doing this 4 years later, because there's nothing else I'd rather be doing, especially, as a mom of 4 over here. Right now, my babies are back there screaming, but I'm able to work at home while they're here. And it's just amazing to me. How about
you do have to keep working.
What?
I said you do have to keep working.
Yes, you have to keep working. And it is hard because, people think they're going to get into this and they're going to make money in 24 hours, right? You've got to go in with the mindset that you are going to build something over time. If you go open up a business, just like Scottie was talking about, it's going to take some time. This is a real business and you have to build it, right? You've got to be committed to your business. But that compound effect over time, it's a beautiful thing. Let me just say that. It's very beautiful. Like Scottie said, he took his family on vacation. He went on, and then Mother's Day trip. We all just got back from, where did we go? Where were we at this time? Mexico. Punta Cana. Beachbody takes good care of us, you guys.
Yeah, I want to share just some of the quick successes. But first, I'm going to say Beachbody does not guarantee any levels.
I was just going to say that's great.
Depending on everybody's own diligence, effort, and skill. But I'm going to give you guys a simple example. You guys probably can't hear it, but there's a vacuum running out here in my hallway. And that is my father. And so my mom and dad, because of our Beachbody income, what we've created, my mom and dad both work for us. And they do something that's not like my dad's not at a job for 8 hours with a mean boss. He makes
so beautiful, Scottie.
They make more money than they did at their job, and he picked my son up from preschool for us so I could do this call today. And
thank you, Daddy. Yay!
My mom's my assistant, and so many beautiful things. And like you said, time with the family, like there's so many things I could share. But last year I took my 5 kids and my wife. We rented a house on the beach with a swimming pool in Maui, and we spent 6 weeks in Maui. I worked on my business every morning from 5 to noon. And then from noon to 10 o'clock, no phone, no nothing. just hiking, swimming, playing with the kids. This year, we're going to live in a house for 2 months with a swimming pool in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Wonderful. That is so exciting. I bet your kids just are enjoying this so much. And I mean, like you said, you're never going to get that time back with your kids. And this allows us all the time, all the freedom. And it's so beautiful. Now, being a top male coach, because I know we don't have many male coaches, but we are accumulating more.
Yeah.
How has that worked out for you being a male coach?
Awesome.
I mean, obviously it's been awesome. Yes. I mean, was there any hesitation going into, because there was a lot of, girls in the field in the beginning?
No, not really, because my coach, for example, was the first ever female top coach in 2012. So the people that I aspired when I joined and like, okay, I want to live a life like this person is living. They were all the top number one coaches in the company were all men before my coach. And so there was no hesitancy that myself as a man could build this business. Now, women tend to crush it more, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because they're more open about their emotions and real about what their struggles are. And the men are more closed off. They want to act like they got their stuff together, a good job, they can provide for their family.
Right, of course.
And the reason I'm successful, I'll tell you, is because I share with people that I couldn't pay my bills. I'll share with people that,
your struggles,
that,
your real life, you're a human being.
Right? And most men won't do that. So if you're a man watching this, you want to be successful, you just have to open up. You
hear that, gentlemen? And that was another specific reason why I had you on here today, because I have had a lot of males coming to me and saying, hey, I really am considering this. I'm contemplating it, but I am a little nervous because I don't know a lot of male top coaches. I was like, well, I do. I know quite a few that are rocking this. So don't be shy. Like Scottie said, it's just, you've got to be open with your emotions, and sky's the limit, really. Scottie, can you share, before we get off, some of your top tips on why you're killing it?
So some of the greatest joys that I have experienced as a coach is just seeing someone win. And I think a lot of people miss the small wins. And I try to celebrate every single win. I'll be honest, I had a great friend and leader who was a doctor building a business that quit. And he quit because he said, I don't feel like anybody can do this like I can. So I'm not going to offer this opportunity to anybody anymore. And I was like, okay. Like I'll honor anybody's request, right? They do what they want with their life. I'm not going to let that determine if I'm going to keep working hard or not.
Amen to that.
And so what happens when someone quits is you inherit their coaches. So I inherit his coaches and I call each of them just to get to know them so I can find out their goals and to mentor them. The first person that I called, I said, tell me how Beachbody's transformed your life. And she's like, well, I've lost 100 pounds. I got on stage at Summit for the Body Beast Classic, and I looked nowhere near like any of the other bikini models, but I had the inner confidence to stand up there and be proud of who I am, even though I don't look like a fitness model. And I was like, wow, like you are successful.
Powerful. Yes.
You are successful. Right. And then I was like, tell me about how's your business going? And she's like, well, I only make about $150 to $200 every week. And I was like, okay, what does that mean to you? And she's like, well, I'm a single mother. And because I have, with the child sport and the $200 a month, which is like $800 to $1,000 a month or a week, sorry, 150 to 200 a week equals like $1,000 a month. Because I have that, I've been able for the last year to stay home with my daughter. And I lived off of child support and my $1,000 from Beachbody coaching. And I didn't have to send my daughter to daycare. And I'm like,
another huge win, right?
Huge win. Yes. But here's the tip. That coach didn't, because so focused on his own goals.
Yes, right.
So focused on own goals that they missed the wins that were happening, that his coaches were successful. They just were not successful in his terms of what success meant to him. So if you want to be successful, you have to understand that success is different for every single person.
Right.
This coach, for example, never went on to build a business with it, but his life is transformed, right? He never wanted to go out and coach people like I do, but he's a coach, gets Shakeology at a discount, and is healthier than he's ever been. He got flown to California to be shooting an infomercial. He feels like a celebrity. Like
I love that. And he's happy, right? He's happy.
So some of the biggest tips I could give you aside from that is celebrate your small wins, right? Your small wins, the wins of the people around you, focused on one step at a time. Like you could look at you, or you could look at me and be like, oh, I could never be that far. But I'm the person that started with one person, that helped one person.
I was going to say, we all started at the bottom, guys.
$49 commission.
At the bottom.
I remember getting a $40 commission. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Beachbody gives you 25%. Like that is so awesome. And so every time I celebrate like that every single day. And so if you show gratitude and work on every single day, just growing yourself, improving yourself. I think as I look at the big picture, it's so important that you set goals, you visualize yourself getting there. So many things that have happened in my life were written out.
Yes.
Exactly. Like when we spent 6 weeks in Maui and lived on the beach, that was written out. In 2012, it said, I envision my family, me and my 4 kids, it said at the time, walking beaches in Hawaii, to start the day. So every goal was written out. And then like earning $1 million was the easiest thing ever. Okay. The hardest thing was believing it was possible for me.
Yes.
So the biggest piece of advice, I won't turn it because I might drop my phone and everything. I'll show you. Is this is the secret over here. All of those
the personal development. Yes.
All of those books.
Yeah, I agree.
So I am not the person that I was 7 years ago. And that's the reason I had to grow into this person that I am today. I was shy. I was quiet. I couldn't hold a real conversation with anybody prior to Beachbody. So just embracing the journey, embracing that if you want to make 50,000 a year, or you want to make 100,000 a year, or you want to, like, for example, we've mentored 2 people into the Million Club. If you want to do that, you have to grow into that person. It's okay that you're not that person yet, because I wasn't either.
But you've got to be open to grow, right?
So here's my quick advice, and then we'll end it right there. Yeah. So each of you watching this video, you have some goal or dream or aspiration, something you want to accomplish with your life. Here's the deal. There's somebody out there that has done it, exactly what you want to do, and they've written a book about it, or they've done a podcast, or they have videos, and they've told you every single step on how they did that. So be resourceful and go read or follow that person's life and emulate it into yours. And if you trust the process and the compounding effect of time, you'll be there. Whether it's, we've created this in 7 years, but I looked at myself and I said, hey, if I could replace my full-time job in 20 years and work from home,
that's huge.
Like, if I started at 29, if I'm 49 working from my house, that's better than working in that factory until I'm 68. So like, even
if those old grumpy people still stuck there, right?
Even if this would have taken me 20 years, I still would have done it, because I love the process of transforming people's lives, growing myself. So just trust the process, realize that each of us go at a different pace, and then stay consistent at it. The only way you're not going to get there is if you quit.
I love that.
There you go.
I think that's a beautiful way to end. Thank you so much, Scottie. Seriously. That was awesome, you guys. Again, if you have questions for Scottie and I, put them in the comments below. We'll go back through after this broadcast and answer them for you guys. If you found value at all today, or if this resonated with you, please share. Sharing is caring, as Scottie always says. Sharing is caring. Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you back here again next Monday for another Coach Life Unplugged. Bye, Scottie. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Go kiss all those babies. Yeah. Tell your dad I said thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.